Hi, I'm Nikki M. James. I've been on Broadway in a few shows like Suffs, The Book of Mormon, and a show you never saw called The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. And this is Drama Club with Matty.
So wait, you listen to show tunes on the treadmill, yes or no?
I absolutely listen to show tunes on the treadmill.
I'm the same.
You Can't Stop the Beat is like potentially the best number. Like it's the best closing number of any. Yeah. And it's like a great rhythm and you can like sing along. It's
I think
fantastic.
It's 150 BPMs.
Is it really?
I've programmed it
Have
before.
You? See,
and it is,
these are the things you knew. I didn't even know that when I was putting it into my it's been on my running playlist since I had an iPad Nano. Remember the Nano that you would clip to the and you don't even know because you just have to remember because there's no screen at all. Click, click, click. You put like 15 songs on it and that's your run.
And if you shuffled it, you were just so surprised.
Who knows?
You were like, wait,
you have no idea.
I'm about to rock out to Harvey Fierstein right now.
Ever since this whole world began. Yeah, such a good stuff.
We met on we met running.
Yeah, we did.
We met on the treadmill. I actually can't even pin the year. You were probably doing Les Mis.
No, it was before that. It was when I was doing, I think, Book of Mormon towards the end.
Because I started at Barry's in 2011.
Yeah.
So it had to be right.
It was right then. OG Barry's were like super small. Yeah. Like good luck getting a shower.
Sure. In
and
Chelsea,
like,
there was nothing. That studio
there.
Was always leaking.
Oh my god, it was so crazy. There was a basement situation.
Yeah, the basement was like nothing. Now I think they have like cycling down there.
Oh yeah, I'm not going down to cycle down there.
We didn't know what we were doing. I mean, I helped to open up that studio.
It was amazing. I remember I was in a place in my life where, I'm in this big Broadway show and I'm like, I had just turned 30 and I was I feel like I need to like focus my like fitness life. And someone suggested Barry's who had worked out with Barry in LA in the old days. That's right. On the old days. And I was like, all right, let me check this place out. It was like very early days. And I fell in love, but it was so interesting. Like a lot of things, you fall in love with both, like the way you feel, the endorphins. If you remember, would always run 12.5.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Because
always.
I wasn't teaching the class. I'm on the treadmill. Yeah. And back then, I mean, again, in our 20s, 30s, I would take 2-3 classes a day. Unhealthy. I mean, like unhealthy. I was ripped.
So
jacked,
sick.
like 10 abs back then. And like not even eating all that much. And I'm flying. And I look over at this girl next to me. I said, that bitch just took her speed up to 12.5.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So now we're racing.
Yes. And here's the thing. And probably the reason why we fell in love is because I only liked to run next to people who I thought I couldn't be faster than when you're walking into the room.
Yeah.
And that was before reserved treadmills.
Totally.
So you could choose who you would run near.
Correct.
And I had this, and I would have days, because I'm sick. I would have days where I'd be like, you know what? You probably are going to end up with, like shin splints or like whatever. So like maybe today when, we go to a sprint, just like take it at a 12 or like, no. And then I'd be next to someone who's running 12.5. And I was like, well, now I also have to be running 12.5 at a 2 incline.
Right.
Like it would be like, it was so, but it was those days, it was really amazing because I found like a community of friends and people there. And I had not experienced that kind of like fitness and like that kind of camaraderie outside of the theater, really. And so like I have a lot of friends from those early days at Barry's, like you and some of the instructors, but also some of like, some of my like people who would like take that 9:30 class on Thursday, abs. And you just like feel like I've seen their kids grow up. It's amazing.
You do a lot, including being a fucking amazing mother.
Oh, thanks for saying that.
Yeah. Would you say that you're a fucking amazing mother?
I have my moments.
Tell me about the moments then.
So I think like one of the things that I'm really good at with my kid is like I really am a playful human.
Right.
And so I'm also not easily embarrassed.
Right.
So like if my kid is like, we're marching down the street like dinosaurs, I'm like, we absolutely are, girl. Here we are. We are dinosaurs. We're singing at the top of our lungs.
This is drama club already for Isla.
Yeah.
And Isla's going to be 3.
She is going to be 3.
Oh, what does she do that surprises you the most?
Yesterday, she was falling asleep in her bed and she was like asking for a Band-Aid. Babe, she's obsessed with Band-Aids.
Okay.
She has millions of invisible, non-existent boo-boos that require Band-Aids.
So you cover her in Band-Aids.
She covers herself in Band-Aids. And then...
And are they fun Band-Aids like Disney
It doesn't
characters?
really matter. I've
Okay.
gotten fun Band-Aids because if they're going to be on her, they might as well be like decorative.
Sure.
But like it doesn't matter.
Got it.
And she also almost always needs those Band-Aids right after I have walked out of her bedroom and said goodnight. And then she's like, but I have this boo-boo. So last night I was like, I am going to put my foot down. I am not going to be bossed around by this baby. I was like, there are no more Band-Aids, Isla. And she was like, yes. And then I was like, I don't know where the Band-Aids are. And she was like, yes, you do. They're in the cabinet. And I was like, we're out. Which is like, I should have probably just been like, here I am like lying to her. But anyway, and then she just laid in her crib and she looked up at the monitor and she said, I am hungry. I am not happy. And then she said, I am happy. No, I am not happy. Like it was so hilarious. And I was just like, look at you. Like, first of all, like tone.
Right.
And also, like, she's expressing her feelings.
In that staccato voice, she was punctuating.
Like she was like reprimanding me.
Right.
And she does it a lot. And so that one day she was like, I want this. And I was like, Isla, we do not speak like that. And so then she said the exact same phrase, tone, but pitched her voice up. So it sounded sweeter, but it was still rude.
Can you do it for me?
Like,
what did it sound like?
She was like, I want juice. And I was like, we don't ask for things like that. She was like, I want juice. And I was like, Isla, first of all, magical human, like so incredible. And so she's amazing. She's really, really cool.
Evan and I are on our family building journey.
Yeah.
It's not imminent, but it's like, it's soon.
You're not currently pregnant.
I'm not currently pregnant. Just, want to make sure everybody's clear about that. But I honestly, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
No, you definitely won't.
Do you ever know?
I mean, you know some things. I think what you do know is like what you can handle.
Sure.
Like everybody's like, I said this to my kid, like she said, so-and-so does such and such. And I said, everybody's family has different rules. But I think it really has a lot to do with like what it is that you can handle, right? Like if you are a parent who like doesn't mind a mess and your kids are messy, great. Like so I think like you create boundaries for yourself. You then, big thing is to like try not to compare, but borrow. Like I see moms in the playground who are like, I see that they've like packed a nice like snack, like that's like, and their or whatever. And I'm like, oh, I'm making note about that. It's like being an actor.
Sure.
Viola Davis says this,
Queen.
and I'm quoting her.
Rhode Island queen, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but like from the South, but then Rhode Island.
Yeah.
She's amazing. But I think she stole this, but she said, as an actor, what you should do is steal and observe. And like, so I spend a lot of time like sort of, I try not to read a lot of podcasts or like that kind of stuff, but I do like to look around me and I try to emulate people who I think have it a little bit together.
Okay.
And then I steal from them.
That makes sense. I'm nervous. There are not a lot of gays my age, same-sex men that I know that have young children. Like I honestly, even on Instagram, and I'll
oh my God. Well, let me just introduce you. So many.
Okay. All right. So I will find, again, speaking of community.
This is how I'm going to force you to be in my
club.
Yeah, you were find a baby club. But this is how I'm going to force you to spend more time together.
That's
true. I'm going to be like, oh, you should be friends with these 10 gays.
Right.
Friends of mine actually just had twins. My friend Chris Rice, we did the Book of Mormon together. They just had twins. And another friend of mine, Eric Christian, he and his partner have twin daughters who are turning 3.
Gays. Amazing.
Oh yeah, the prevalence of twins. Here's the thing: you do two at once,
we
and then you
were
get
thinking
two.
about
Yeah.
it. We were thinking about it. I don't know. He wants to. I don't know if I'm emotionally like ready for like to just do the two things. Now, again, I will say, of course, I mean, bless these women who carry and like your body changes and you're going through. Like we'll be fine. We'll be like ready to go. Like okay, we won't have any sleep, but like it's not like we're gonna be lactating.
No. If you start lactating. That would be an entirely great episode of this podcast. Be like, welcome to Drama Club. I am making milk.
I want to bring it to a little bit of career. I mean, you know, again, Book of Mormon. Let's talk about South Park now.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you know those guys.
I do.
And South Park is really having a moment because they are making some statement like come on. Can you believe that South Park is still so relevant again?
It's
after all these years.
It's shocking and not, right? Here's like, all right, they are really funny guys.
We know
they're
this.
really, really smart guys. What I think that they really are always capturing, and Matt said this to me once, we were at like having drinks or something. And of the two, I think like Matt is easier to like sort of chat with. Trey is like, I don't know, like he's some kind of like super genius.
He's the evil genius.
He like operates in this world where I'm sometimes like nervous to talk to Trey.
Okay, interesting.
But
we know
Matt's
people
a little
like
Matt's like got this more like stoner energy. They really complement each other. I think there's something to be said too about like long partnerships too. Like we always talk about like marriage, but I love that they are like a partnership that started with friendship, then became a business relationship. And like, I'm sure their relationship with each other has evolved. They've both had families. They now live on different coasts. Like, it's really cool to see people in like a later stage of their life and a later stage having worked together for 35 years, like hitting another stride.
Right.
But I was like, I said to Matt when we were doing early days of Book of Mormon, and let me say, we were terrified. We had security coming to talk to us about like that they were going to be scanning our mail because Trey and Matt right before.
Have you ever said this on a podcast before? This is
I don't
crazy.
think so. So they were nervous because we were doing this thing that had never been done before on Broadway. We were like sort of attacking this. And it was the religious aspect. They were really worried at the time that we were going to receive a lot of like sort of negative attention.
Of course. And this is kind of, if you think about cancel culture, came after
this. Yeah.
This is sort of pre-cancel culture.
But people were on Broadway that year. There was a show called Scottsboro Boys.
Correct.
That was being protested. And so we opened after them, or that same year, but after them. So we had this big thing. And Trey and Matt had like, I'm okay, guys. Nobody send emails. What I remember is that they had a fatwa on them because they had presented on their show an image of Muhammad. My memory, it's a long time ago. No, I have a toddler. Yep. Forgive me. I see someone over here with
producer Nathanael is so I think that's what happened. The chat. Yes.
And so they had some like negative, like not death threats, but they'd received that. So they were really preparing us for this. And so we were like super nervous. And then the show, thank you. So the show, first performance.
That was confirmed, yes.
First performance, the sound just at the start of the show, all the speakers went like, and we were all like, this is God telling us he's giving us a warning.
Did you all shit your pants?
Yes, and especially Josh, because Josh is really nervous about this stuff. We were so nervous.
Get out.
And then we got out there and the audience just started laughing. They just started laughing. And it was the reaction. We knew we were going to shock people, but we didn't know we were going to bring people also a ton of joy.
Yeah.
Like the show is actually really hopeful and really joyful. And I think people were surprised about that. So anyway, I was talking to Matt and I was like, how do you deal with, long story short, too late.
Oh no, we got time.
I was talking to Matt and I said, how do you deal with all this like energy towards you? You know, like people are always writing about you. And he said, I just think it's all so absurd. And so, of course, in this moment, they're hitting their stride because the pitch of all of the talk in the world is to the level where you're like, you're actually a caricature of yourself. And so they're just like, this is absurd. Why are we all yelling and screaming about this stuff? Why aren't we just like realizing at the heart of this, it's really funny, actually. They're just like in that.
It's like they have this invincibility card, and they have this license because they've done it for so long. Nothing sticks to them. No. They can say what they want because everybody is fair game. Yeah. If you even go back to those original South Park episodes, the original Book of Mormon, literally the song is dum 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 dum. And it's back in the zeitgeist in a really big way. They're getting the biggest ratings they've ever had because you know what? Everything out there, while it is horrendous.
Oh, sure.
It is a time for art and comedy to at least poke holes so we can breathe.
So here's the other thing about Trey and Matt. They're so rich. It is not lost on me or anyone that the day that the first episode of this new season of South Park landed was the day they signed a pay or play deal for like $1 billion. And that is billion. Just remember that, guys. Some people have more to lose and some people have nothing to lose.
I mean, the show is essentially still made out of construction paper.
Oh yeah. And the other thing I would say is like they're super, super rich, which is good for them. And I'm happy to go to your parties and stuff and hang out with you guys and drink your like expensive champagne. But also they continue to only work for themselves. Right. So like it's the two of them. They are the head of their own like sort of studio. They're not someone else's employee. There's something also to be said about what happens to artists or any of us when we're worried about what we say or do or the way we want to express ourselves is like at the behest of someone else. And I'm not yet at the point in my life. Here I feel like I can be very free and I'm being honest because nobody's paying me any money right now. But there are times when you're like, wow, I worry. And you're seeing that happen. And so they have this like carte blanche to just say whatever they want. And I love that they're doing it.
No, there's something to be said about it's true. Us peons here. We say we're all replaceable in the end.
That's right.
But I mean, especially in the news with that Paramount deal and whatnot, it was like, no, Paramount had to say, actually, you are not replaceable.
No,
and
you're
they
not.
were like, that's correct.
And if you try to replace me, you still have to pay me. That's the trick. Everyone needs to negotiate contracts that say.
You pal around with some great people, including, again, in those very early years, Josh Gad and Andrew Rannell have continued to be amazing,
my closest friends.
Your closest friends. Yeah. Andrew Rannell was part of your proposal, right?
Yes. Oh my God.
Just quick, that proposal story is really great. Also, like, I mean, after you saw Patti LuPone and Christine Ebersole in War Paint.
Oh my God.
Oh, War Paint.
You guys, War Paint, I don't remember anything about it.
Because
it was confusing, but I do remember. What I do remember, it would be like, Patti has a ballad. And then I was like, you could basically set your clock. And like, this is what you do when you have these two incredible women. You don't give Patti a song and then not give Christine an answer. Yeah. So basically, it was like this incredible thing where I couldn't imagine a world where the two of them would be sharing a stage. Sure. But then also they were in this like weird performance conversation.
Because it was like a presidential debate. I swear there was a stage manager like literally making sure they had equal time on stage.
They must. Someone with a stopwatch. Okay, so this is the proposal story. My amazing husband is a kind and gentle person and
tall,
very tall. Dutch. They're the tallest people in the world. They are the
tallest people. It's true.
They're the tallest people in the world.
Will Isla be tall? She'll probably be tall. Taller than you.
The other day she said to me, "Mama, why did you stop growing?" I was like, "What do you mean?" And she was like, she wasn't saying I was short, but she was like, because I'm only 5'3", and she was just like, why did you stop growing? And I said, well, I'm as big as I'm meant to be. And she was like, I will be as big as...
That's such a good mom answer.
Yes, I'm as big as I'm meant to be. And she said, I will be as tall as Papa. And I was like, wow. Oh, you will? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, but when You're
because
as
she's a
tall as
bumblebee.
Papa. Yeah, she is. I was like, when you're as tall as Papa, I'm gonna have to look up at you. And she's like, yeah, you will. You're gonna have to look up at me. I'll be high in the sky.
Oh. All right,
so
continue the proposal.
So my
story.
husband and I.
I'm sorry.
So I was doing Julius Caesar in Central Park, a show that got protested, and we were switching from our rehearsal schedule to our tech schedule. And it was a really funny, weird thing where in the theater, the day off is a Monday, but where we were rehearsing, our day off was a Sunday.
Okay. You were not at the De La Court.
We weren't at the De La Court yet.
Off-site.
We were rehearsing at New 42 Studios.
Yeah, okay, sure.
And so we had this rare magic weekend where we have 2 days off in a row, which is unheard of in the theater world. We work 6 days a week. So on a Saturday night, and then I was going to have a Sunday off and then a Monday off. And that Saturday night, I made plans with my dear friend Andrew Rannell to go see Warpaint, starring Christine Ebersole and Patti LuPone. And it was raining. And my husband had said to Andrew, I am going to propose to Nikki. Can you text me when you're on your way home so that I can be prepared? And he was like, yes. And he was like, great. So we go see the show. We go backstage, see Patti in her dressing room. She's epic and iconic, and like we can do an entire podcast about people's interactions with Patti LuPone. This is like every interaction with her is unforgettable.
Very long series, a weekly series.
Yeah,
actually,
we should do it. What was the last time what was your Patti story?
What was the last thing that Patti LuPone said to you?
Yeah, exactly. And it was an amazing night, and she was incredible. And then I live near to the theater, so we were walking home, and it was raining. And Andrew was supposed to text my husband, he didn't. And so I get to my apartment.
He missed his cue. Are you kidding?
Can you even?
Andrew Rannell.
But I never know where my keys are because I'm a New Yorker, and also I have a big bag and my keys are at the bottom. So I rang our little doorbell, which gave my husband like warning that I was home.
Okay.
And I hear him be like, coming. And I was like, what is wrong with this guy? And I'm digging for my keys. He opens the door and the lights are out and like, it's like dim and he'd like lit candles. And I'm thinking he's just like trying to get like fresh or whatever.
Laid, right.
And I was like, oh my God. So Warpaint was like this. And then Patti did like this. And then Christine would sing this other thing. And like Christine sounded like amazing. And then I'm like literally talking about as if he gives a shit. He doesn't really care.
He was not even hearing you at that point.
And I'm clearly not seeing him because he's not an actor and he's like a nervous. And so we're sitting on the couch and I feel his like heart pounding.
Oh.
And I turned to him, I was like, what is wrong with you?
Like, who is in the closet?
Yeah, I was like, what's going on? What's wrong with you? And then he got down on one knee.
Oh,
and then he proposed, and then he said, Andrew's supposed to let me know you were coming.
Oh my God. And why didn't Andrew let him know? Did the text not go through?
He was like, I was also nervous.
That is such a diva answer. That way to steal the spotlight. That's so funny. We love love here. We talk about love a lot. And we talk about learning a lot because our audience is really made up of young people who are, again, in early drama club years all the way through college. You went to school.
I did.
We're both NYU alum. In common. Did you know that we both went to
feel
NYU?
like I did know
you
that.
You were just a little bit before me, days before me. Just no, truly.
Did you see how I did that?
I graduated 2007. You graduated just a couple
2003.
Okay.
So like much
we literally
older.
Just missed each other.
Yeah, but like in like college years, I was like a senior. You were a freshman.
I was
we
a
wouldn't
freshman.
Even talk to each
If
other.
I was straight, we would have never slept together. We might have made out though.
If we would have made out whether you were straight or gay, because let me just say the number of gay men I've made out with in my life.
And that is honestly a through line of this podcast so far is everybody that we've had is like, well, yes, I just made a side hustle of making out with gay men.
I won a kissing contest senior year in college.
Wow. Oh, great. Mononucleosis.
That's right.
Your heart out.
Everybody get it. Get mono.
That is actually the first time I got mono in high school performing in Taming of the Shrew. I was Petruchio and my Kate had mono and I got mono and I was a FFK, formerly fat kid. I was pretty heavy at the time.
Okay.
And I got mono. Nathanael's rolling over here. Shout out to my larger bodied folks. I love you so much because I lost so much weight. And I had so many sores in my mouth for years.
So mono is like the original Ozempic.
Mono was the first Ozempic. I honestly, hopefully we'll get sponsored by one of these GLP-1s at some point. Anyway, tangent, but also you're from Livingston, New Jersey. You're a paper mill girl.
I am, yeah. I was a rising star.
You were a rising star nominated. Hello, Dolly.
Yeah.
Nathanael asked me to ask you about this.
Well, I didn't win.
Fuck them.
It was my first loss. My first nomination, my first loss.
That taught you a lot, though.
It did. It really taught me humility. I lost to a girl who I became friends with, Kristen Jones.
Okay.
And
what is she doing now?
Not winning Tony Awards.
Kristen Jones, if you're out there.
But the other person who won that year was an actor named Matthew Scott, who still works on Broadway, and I was just in Suffs with his wife, and he and I have remained really good friends.
Who was his wife?
Kirsten Scott.
Kirsten Scott. Okay. Great.
And so we were, So I don't know what they did. This weird thing where all the nominees, because you like perform. And it was the early days of the Rising Stars before the Jimmys existed. Okay. So this was like the end. Like there was there was nothing beyond this.
Okay.
And they sat us all together and I was sitting on the aisle. Oh. And so I was like, I'm going to win.
I'm going to win. You thought you were planted there just for logistical reasons.
And then they called and I had to get up.
Oh.
To let her out.
That's diabolical.
Can I don't you like even that imagine?
No, as a kid, how old were you?
17?
Yeah.
18?
Okay. All right. Okay.
But maybe that's the fire. Maybe that's the moment. Fire. That was the seed.
Yeah.
In the if we were writing the drama of my life, that moment, I sat back down and I was like, never again. And then, I won my own Tony Award. Fancy.
Again, just to go back to our original conversation. I mean, you are alpha. You are type A. You like to compete.
I do.
You like to compete. And and it's really sweet when you win. It's really sweet when you win. But
I'm also weirdly good at losing.
Okay. And how do you get used to losing? Do you get used to losing?
I think that you start to realize in a way there are things that are important to win, and then there are things that are nice to win that aren't going to change your life.
Okay.
And I think the fact that I truly, because people joke, Tony Award winner Nikki James, and I always add this. It sounds self-deprecating, but I also just want to be clear about it. Also, Tony loser, and two things. One, by mentioning that I lost, also lets me say that I've been nominated more than once, which is unbelievable. Truly, yes, I can't even knock wood. It's
you earned it.
Crazy.
Sure.
But I remember the moment I won and what that felt like. And then just in 2024, when I lost and I was sitting next to my husband and they said someone else's name and he was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, instantly fine.
Okay.
I think that you wanting to win is different than not being able to lose.
Sure.
I would love to win. I want to be the best at the thing because I like being the best, not because I want to be better than someone else. I want to be my best.
Right.
And so I think when I lost and I saw Keisha Lewis up there, a person who I've directed a little bit, I've now hired her 2 times as a director.
And
I was like, well, obviously she's fucking amazing too.
Right.
So and then you start to realize also, and you're like, we're all amazing. I look around at all these women and the trophy isn't going to change that much. It means maybe you can negotiate $10 extra on your next contract or something like
10%
that.
More,
yeah, maybe. But and it is nice to have, and I love looking at my Tony Award, and it's a lifelong dream realized. But I've lived a lot of years since I've won it, and I'm also still striving and working hard, and and I've done roles and played parts that mean as much to me as Nabalungi. So I think that in hindsight, I love to win. And that if I could go back to my Barry's girl who was getting stress fractures in her feet from running 12.5 and I should have just been today you can run at 11.
Sure. No.
Which by the way is still super fast.
Which is still really freaking fast. Yeah, no, truly. And the Emmys were on last night, and Brad Garrett said something very funny about how he was on stage something like 20 years ago and he won. And he's like, by the way, you get this trophy. It actually doesn't change your life all that much. You still have to audition and meet with producers and do the thing which you're still doing.
Oh yeah, God, still
even
auditioning.
Kristen Milioti, who was at NYU same year as me. I think she dropped out her freshman year.
So many like the dropouts are more famous than
okay. So here's again for our drama kids out there, our theater kids out there. Like, yeah, what is your feeling since you went through the whole track from Rising Star to Tish?
Yeah,
like. What's important that you get from that experience, but also like, are there things that they just can't teach you no matter how much you pay for tuition?
Yeah. I mean, first of all, nobody can teach you drive.
T.
Nobody can teach you drive.
T.
Nobody can create the atmosphere in which your talent is the thing that people are looking for. That's like a thing that you don't really think about, that there are trends in like what is popular.
And the trends are changing faster than ever, right?
Whether it's like a vocal style or a body type or a style of comedy or a style of drama, like that changes. And so sometimes you're like, wow, you didn't arrive at 22 in the right style of, and I did for a lot of reasons. I don't know. I don't know what the secret to my success is. So success.
I could tell you. It's this. It's what's right in front of me. You're again, authentically yourself. You show up. It's clear that you know that the talent that you have. The ones that walk into a room and start spouting.
Oh, sure.
There's a reason why I did not know that Nikki M. James was next to me on that treadmill, because somebody who like is not confident about who they are would have made it very clear this is, you literally would have had the Tony in the backpack. Like it's just, it's just who you are, and it's just why we love you so much. Sorry, nice. I had to gush a little bit.
So that's the thing I'll say to people. Like that's the other thing. Like you also have to like find a way of like knowing that you might not be what's in vogue, but also attempting to be somebody else is like a surefire way to both like get yourself out of it and also be like at the bottom of the list. Like nobody needs you to be Nikki James Light because I exist. And if they're looking for me, I'm going to get that part. But if they're not looking for me, which happened to me this week at an audition for a job I really wanted.
Tell us more about it?
Yeah, it's this film. It's a film that it's an independent film. I read the script and it's about a Haitian woman and her child. And I'm Haitian. My mom is from Haiti. And I went in, I gave a great audition. And I walked out and I called my husband. I was like, oh, I'm not going to get this part. And he was like, why? Like, and I was like, oh, it has nothing to do with, I did everything I wanted to do. I could sense from the director that I didn't like feel. And that means like both look and seem and feel the way she pictured this woman. Okay. And like, it didn't mean that what I wasn't bringing to the table wasn't valid. And I'm able to just like be like, great, that's not me today.
Yeah.
And like, I've cried too when I didn't get jobs that I thought I wanted.
And you should. That's if you bottle up that emotion.
Oh yeah.
You end up being a nervous wreck. Yeah, actually, I do have some questions about that. In fact, those are our club questions today.
Okay.
But a little bit more funny to go back again. Your success, because you have that humility. Take us back to like the really cringy years. We love to talk about it because you can't be successful unless you've been unafraid to be cringe. So like, do you have a memory of like a really cringy drama club early years memory? Like were you like hilariously miscast as something?
Well, yes. So many times in my life I've been miscast. Well, okay. So when you grow up doing theater in whatever town, like everyone is 10, and most of the musicals that or shows that you're doing are not casts of 10-year-old people. So you end up playing like these really weird parts. So in 8th grade, I auditioned for A Christmas Carol.
Okay.
And my friend Jordan Bass got cast as Scrooge.
Okay.
But Jordan...
Was he also 10?
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, I guess we're in 8th grade, so we're 12.
Okay.
Jordan
Big difference. You learn a lot in those 2 years.
It's really true.
Yeah, totally.
So Jordan got cast as Scrooge, and I don't remember what part I got. It wasn't the lead. And then Jordan dropped out so that he could do No No Nanette at his like middle school.
Oh, wow.
Because this was a community theater and he dropped out to do No No Nanette.
Wow.
And so I got the call to play Scrooge.
Are you? Wow.
In A Christmas Carol.
Wow.
Scrooge is definitely not a 12-year-old black girl. Why we did the Christmas Carol, and I played Scrooge, and there's like this whole thing where like there's like the flashback because you go past, and so the actor, I say actor,
right, the child actor
who played the other, he was actually, I think he was a year younger than me, so he is 11.
Okay.
Named Brian Podnos.
Oh, you remember all this?
He
Amazing.
played younger Scrooge.
Sure.
Brian is a redheaded Jewish boy.
Got it.
And he grew
Shout out.
up to be an 11-year-old black girl in painted on eyebrows and like basically blackface because like they only had the makeup was like
it was just paint.
You guys,
it was probably just paint.
The 90s were so weird.
Really weird.
There was like a Ben Nye kit that like my school, and it was like they had like a bunch of different kinds of like grease paint, literally grease paint. You would like turn it up, and they had one color for brown skinned people, and it was like
it was from the CVS during Halloween, probably,
and it was just like not my color. And my dad was like, "You're not doing that for the second performance." Like I have photos. I was performing in blackface. That's
will you
like,
share those photos? With
us? Yeah.
Okay, great.
I was. Amazing though, by the way, incredible. I'm sure
the full story arc. We went through the emotion. Okay, amazing.
So that was like one of my,
and that's why you're so generous.
Yeah, sure, because I've learned goes to Christmas past, present. Yeah, that's right. Norfolk turkeys for everyone. Christmas turkeys.
God bless us, everyone.
And then my other like very funny like or cringeworthy, but I became a professional actor on my own when I was like 13. I like got headshots and resumes and I like did a mailing and I got called by an agency and my parents were like, what the fuck? Wow. And I started doing and I wasn't allowed to do things that took me out of school, but I did commercials. I had my equity card and my SAG card.
That young, 13?
Yeah, 1994 or something like that.
Amazing.
And it was amazing. It was really an amazing gift. And so I made my Broadway debut my sophomore year in college. I took a semester off. And a show called Adventures of Tom Sawyer ran an amazing, impressive 26 performances. 26 performances. Okay. When people are like, oh, Olympika. And I was like, let me tell you, okay? You guys your memories are short. Shows used to close in a moment.
In a minute. Producer Nathanael, do you know who holds the record as the shortest run?
I think it was Glory Day.
Yeah, one night.
Circle in the Square.
And how many performed?
One night.
One night.
They got their closing notice on opening night.
Oh. Wow, the checks not
It's
clear.
either that or Carrie. Like Carrie's another famous one.
Got it.
26 performances.
Wow.
Okay, so after that show closed, I auditioned for a revival of Into the Woods to play Cinderella.
This was 2001. This was 9/11 era.
2002, maybe 2003.
Okay, got it. Yes,
and
this is
right
Billy
around
Porter
then.
was supposed to be the witch. But we were going back to we couldn't do anything groundbreaking. Back then. So it was Vanessa Williams.
And so was Vanessa Williams. And I was auditioning to play the Cinderella, and at Chelsea Studios, may they rest in peace. And I remember sitting in the hallway. I went in, sang Steps of the Palace, slayed. And then they said, can you come back later and sing for Steve? And I was like, yeah, of course. And I walk out and I was like, who's Steve?
Oh, you did? Okay. Well, tell everybody who Steve is just in case people don't know.
Stephen Sondheim. Yes. And in my mind, you would say like Mr. Stephen Sondheim. You would never, it didn't occur to me that like he had like a nickname, like Steve. And they were like, Steve in Sondheim. And I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, great.
That's Sondheim.
Yeah, that guy. So I come back at 3 to sing for him, Steps of the Palace.
Oh, God.
And I'm sitting in the waiting room. And like Laura Benanti walks in. And she and I knew each other. We went to NYU together. And she's also a Jersey girl.
Wow.
She's like a couple years older than me. And I remember thinking, oh, well, she will get this part.
Okay, you were correct.
Yeah, I was super correct.
You were right.
And I went into the room and I did it. And then I get to this part and it's like, and it's he, not you who is stuck with the shoe. in the shoe. In the shoe. And you've learned something, shoe. Something you never knew. I just kept on saying shoe. I had like shoe Tourette's. Oh, no. In front of Stephen Sondheim. The one time in my life that I was maybe going to perform for like the god of musical theater. And I couldn't say the correct words, lyrics that he fucking wrote. And I was like, stop. And then he said, and I said, oh, I'm so sorry. And he's like, it's a lot of words.
It is a lot of words.
So that was like my super cringy.
Okay. That's tough.
Story.
That's tough. But true. Hey, it's a good story.
It's a really good story. And Laura and I are friends.
We're going into some drama club questions. These come from the audience, and we love
This is why you feed me this wine.
Yes.
Great. She's a little loose.
She's a little loose, but that's the whole point. We're here with our shoes off.
Yeah,
Please.
that's right. That's right. And I haven't had a pedicure.
And you're drinking out of my face.
Oh, yeah. Look at Matty's face.
I was like, what? Horrible.
I think the reason why we get along is because I also am almost always making this face.
Every photo, mouth open, fully open, tongue out.
Thank God I have nice teeth.
Right, thank God you have beautiful teeth.
Very white.
Beautiful, beautiful lips, beautiful face.
Thank you.
You get paid for your
gowns,
for your face.
beautiful gowns.
All right, so Brittany asks, Nikki, you're a performer on both stage and screen, but now you've got some directing credits under your belt.
Oh, yeah.
What's your advice to students who love theater but don't want to be on stage?
Oh, wow. So many things to do. In fact, probably you'll have more jobs and more longevity. But I think like you should find the part of the industry that excites you most, right? Like some of the stage managers I know are the most creative beings. It seems like a boring job where they're just like, but they're not. They're calling shows. They're like in live with like, they're in conversation with the audience and with the performers, calling light cues, waiting for like, if there's like a lot of applause today, they have to feel that. And it's like it's quite a musical job. And then also you have to like, keep a lot of spreadsheets. Yes. So that's like an amazing job. There's so many ways to be doing this. I have friends who are working in theater PR now as we're moving into the digital age. There are all these people who are coming up with great content to help sell shows to the masses and to figure out how to let people know what we're making. Dramaturgy, if you love storytelling, like sit down with a playwright and help them like flesh out their play. There's so many ways to make and support theater. And also, by the way, like you don't even have to be doing this. I'm on the board of the Classic Stage Company. I joined as a board member, and there's all these ways that you can find and support and help to facilitate the future of the arts, even in the community you live in. You don't have to come to New York. There's incredible theaters all over the country that need your help and your input.
And shout out to our regional theaters.
Hell,
I always say that. I mean, that's where we all fell in love. I mean, those are my, the very early years, or I fell in love with theater at Theater by the Sea in Mattoonic, Rhode Island,
yeah.
Trinity Rep. I mean, those were my original theaters.
Well, those are really good theaters.
Really good theaters, but still, I'll never forget it. And you could always start a Broadway podcast, I guess.
Start a podcast.
Megan says, Nikki, you've accomplished so much.
Oh, thanks, Megan.
How do you deal with your inner saboteur? I call it my gremlin. Do you have a mantra that has gotten you through? You have your famous Bumblebee line story from your Tony
My
Award
Bumblebee
speech.
story is helpful.
Can you briefly break that down
If I do
for
it
us?
quick, it's bumblebees are too heavy for their own little wings. And so physicists couldn't figure out how they flew. This was before times, before we had like cameras and I don't know, Claude. And so they were like, how do they do it? And basically what they came to is like, it's really just because they work hard. They're really work, and which is why they bumble. And so in our family, we talk about the fact that we're bumblebees. We're the kind of people who are not afraid of hard work and not afraid of just using your own grit and strength to get you from flower to flower. That's the bumblebee thing. So I think there's that. But let me tell you.
Talk about your gremlin. We all have that.
Bitch.
Did she have a name?
No, I didn't name her.
It helps to name her sometimes.
I've tried to picture her.
Okay.
Or envision it. I think the only way you can deal with it is just recognizing that it's not you.
Correct.
It's not. And so like you actually can't, I had to do it this morning. For me, that like the gremlin area is that like the time right as you're starting to wake up before you get out of bed and have light. And if you stay in bed, like if I stay in bed, I will tell myself lots of nice things to myself about how I'm failing and how I'm not this and that. Get up and get some light in your eyes and stretch your body and move your body. Because with that, like once you pass through that like gauze, you start to be able to get more clear. But I literally will just tell you, like, can I curse on your show?
Oh, I've said fuck
I will just say
times,
like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you, you're not me. And then I also, I want to believe I'm a good friend. And I also have a lot of good friends. And I sometimes have to say to myself, I have to at least be as nice to myself as I am to the other people I love. Right? Like
this is
you have to at least give yourself the benefit of the doubt that you give to the other people you care about in your life. But it's not easy. And maybe that voice is helpful because sometimes you think it is helpful, right? You think like, oh, it's telling me some truth. It's not. It's telling you a version of the truth.
Completely.
That's like, it's okay to say like, maybe I was lazy yesterday, but also you can say, but I was also tired.
Right.
And the day before that, I accomplished a lot. And like, you need balance.
Sure. Your thoughts are not facts.
No.
Your thoughts are not reality. And we tell ourselves we operate with a constant stream of thoughts. It's thousands of words per minute, that voice that goes on. And you have to remember to, I love this line from Death Becomes Her. She says, wrinkle, wrinkle, little star. But I say, twinkle, twinkle, little star. Remember who the fuck you are.
That's true. It's really true. Oh.
Katie says, Nikki, your daughter will be exposed to the world of live performance at a very young age. She already is. We're being dinosaurs on the street and covering ourselves in Band-Aids. What advice will you give her if she tells you she wants to seek a career in the arts?
I struggle with this all the time.
Okay. Yeah, I had a feeling we were going to get an interesting version of this.
Because, I mean, this child was gestating while I was doing Suffs at the Public.
Correct. You brought her there.
Yeah.
She was 5 weeks old.
5
and
weeks
you
old.
Had surrogate mommies just coming in, including your mother.
Yeah,
right?
my mom was there helping out. But like the first time I felt her move, I was standing off stage at the Public. She was in my body, and the first time I felt her move. And this is one of those things where like, it's kind of like having an orgasm, right? Where you're like, I don't know if I've ever had
having
that.
Having a baby is like having an orgasm?
No, like, you know, like when you haven't experienced the thing and you're like, what will that feel like? And you're like, well, maybe that was it. Or maybe that was it. And then when it happens, you're like, oh, no. It's very clear. And so I had never felt her move inside me. And I was standing off stage right before Fire and Tea. Which is like this, we're like, let the fire rage
they
on.
lit the stage on fire, kind of,
And I felt her like kick for the first time. And I was like, oh my God, that is what that feels like. And then I like went on. So here she was like in my body during this like song of like protest and fire and like community and like womanhood. And then she was with me in a workshop for 5 weeks every single day. I have pictures of me like nursing under a blanket while like learning music. And then, you know, her years 1 to 2 of her life, I was doing stuff on Broadway. She came to see a lot of it. And she clearly is into it. She's absolutely a performer. She's definitely a singer. She loves to sing and write songs. So the question was, what do I say to her? And I would love to encourage it. But I also, and I'm being totally honest, I know that like the highs are high and the lows are low. It's a really hard life to do a thing that you love so much and to feel like you're not able to do it as often as you want. And even sometimes when you are doing it, you're not being compensated in a way that allows you to like live a life of comfort. And so I feel like I would have to just say to her what I've said to myself, which is like, the minute it's not fun or the minute it doesn't bring you more joy than pain, you have to stop.
It's real.
And also point your feet. And also like if she's going to do it, I'm going to like make her do it. She's going to have to learn. Like she can't, I don't want her to be like, oh, I have this like talent or like it's easy. Like she's going to have to prove herself.
It goes back to the drive. You really have to learn how to
She
drive.
has to want it.
Let's bring it up. Worst etiquette you ever witnessed from an audience member.
Oh, someone ate fucking pizza in the front row of
How
Les
did they
Mis.
get past the ushers with pizza?
It's
in their
crazy.
bag?
But like, we have an intermission, so why didn't you eat? I think I'm trying to remember. I think it was after intermission. They must have gone across the street, gotten pizza, come back.
In
front
one of
row.
those big raised slices, probably, like
in
two
the
hands.
white bag, you know what I mean? That like tent
With
the
the
bag.
paper plate underneath it.
And just like eating. And I was just thinking like, this is crazy. Like, we're just like, why are you eating? So that's it. And then during Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, I was seeing it and someone threw up over the balcony onto the, that's not nice.
That's not nice. That's not nice for anyone.
Drink less, eat less. Okay.
Oof. Backstage hijinks. Actually, this made me think because Suffs was pretty much all female cast, almost all female production crew.
Yeah.
Mormon, kind of a boys club,
Yeah,
right?
pretty much.
Which was more of a mess backstage.
Oh, the Mormon. They were
really?
insane.
The boys.
The boys were nuts.
Nuts. Like hanging from the rafters. What did those dressing rooms look like?
There was so much nudity, to be honest. Boys like joke around by getting naked with each other.
It's a weird thing.
It's,
well, they're like figuring themselves out.
I don't know. I think that like, well, whatever. The male body is hilarious. So great. It's like if you're trying to get to a punchline and you want to, I won't say who, but there was like Easter basket with like eggs walking around the theater. But like every show backstage has like traditions and little things that happen that like are unique to that show, and they sort of come about organically, and they should be in a vault. So I'm not going to share some of the best
Okay,
things.
we understand it.
But
Yep.
we did have a thing
Vault
in
of
Suffs
truth.
called the locker room.
Okay.
Which was right before the finale. You know, we all gather on stage to make our final entrance. So we're all sort of waiting. And Shayna had a dressing room that had like an area with a couch, and we would kind of all sit down, and we would call it the locker room. And we talked about some really amazing things. We shared lots of the women
Like
really shared
gossip level, but
gossip about
other people, yourself,
ourselves, our
okay.
bodies. Like there was like
Great.
no holds bars. So we called it the locker room. I will never talk about what was discussed in there,
Got
but
it.
I learned a lot of things about those women.
Wow, an amazing group of women, that's for sure. All right, how about this? If you could ban or make a law that would ban Broadway from doing something, anything, for 25 years, what would you ban?
I just think
and
you
why?
can't revive a show that was recently revived 5 years ago. I'm sick of that. That's annoying.
Like,
also, I love Encore so much. I'm so sorry, guys. Guys, I love you so much. But remember when you used to do musicals that we didn't all know all the lyrics to? Because it was sort of a way for us to like remind us of scores that we had forgotten about.
Sure.
And so right now it feels like, and maybe it's just because I'm old, but I'm like, Bad Boy is like,
It's not that old.
I was like,
yeah.
it's not old enough in a way, but maybe it is. It's 25 years.
Yeah, it is yeah. I'm excited to see it.
Because it's a great score. So, but like, then there's a part of me that's like, oh, I think I'm just old.
And I also think there's a commercial element there. They're like, what could actually have some commercial success if we were to transfer?
I think that. And I think, I think we should ban revivals.
Okay, so
of
there
shows that
should
have
be
been
like
revived.
a rule that like, listen, it's got to be like 30 years.
Or at least 15.
Okay.
I mean, when I did the revival of Les Mis, that was less than 10 years after the first one. But I'm glad they did it because I was amazing.
You were amazing. You were amazing.
Such a good happening.
I have a fun game.
Okay.
I love a good would
Okay,
you
great.
rather. Would you rather perform in 100-degree heat to a sold-out Delacorte theater, or perform in a perfectly air-conditioned Broadway theater with just 3 people in the audience?
No, I would take the Delacorte over anything, any day.
It's so iconic.
I
just went back for the first time. It had been just every night was gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. It was a beautiful day. And I literally went on my Instagram because I can walk here. I can walk
So
there. It's
jealous.
a 12-minute walk through the park. Beautiful. And I got on Instagram. I was like, hey guys, go into the Delacorte for a free Shakespeare in the Park. It's gorgeous out. And then by the time it was showtime, the sky opened up and it is pouring. They did not have enough ponchos. So we are just wet in our pants. But what an amazing. People were waiting in line for 8 hours all day. It's crazy.
Okay. And also, I don't want to perform for 3 people because then it's rehearsal.
Would you rather share a dressing room with the entire cast of Cats' Jellicle Ball or share the stage with 10 former Elphabas?
Oh, take Jellicle Ball all day, any day.
So fun.
Those Elphabas will sing me out of, they're so much better singers than I am.
A lot of green paint.
Yeah.
That cast for Jellicle Ball,
I'm so excited about it. I'm so thrilled that it's
Andre
transferring.
DeShields. I just hope he remains in good health and he can make sure that he's in that role.
He's going to be fine.
He'll be fine.
Let me tell you why. Because he moves so slowly. There are people, there was a belief that you only had a certain number of breaths in your life, which is why people were like, don't exercise. Because if you breathe too much, you're going to run out. I feel like Andre is moving at a pace that's slower than time. And so he is extending his life by just conserving energy. He might be moving slower than the earth sometimes. And not just on stage. It happens when you see him walking down 43rd Street to the grocery store, it's never in a rush.
It's amazing.
He's the epitome of a person who just knows themselves. From the tips of his toes to the tops of his hair, he just knows himself. And he will not be rushed, he will not be changed, or he will not be moved. He's magical.
You described him in a way that I've never heard, but it's so true.
Magic.
This was actually born out of Leslie Margarita because she kind of, in a way, on her social media was criticizing folks who come up to you and say, what's next for you?
Oh, yeah.
Right? You're right. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm going to ask you that question, but I need you to blatantly lie to us. And if it's funny, extra points. So I'll give you a second to think about it.
Okay.
And when you're ready, I will ask that you can tell me to ask the question.
Okay.
Nikki M. James, what's next for you?
Oh, I'm replacing Andre DeShields in Cat's Jellicle Ball. I've been working on my pace.
Are you going to go for a faster pace or a slower pace?
Well, slower than me, but faster than him.
Faster than time or slower than time?
Right on time, baby. Right on time.
But really, what are you looking forward to in the next few weeks?
Let's see. Fall in New York is the perfect time.
It's magic.
It's just going to be really beautiful.
It's magic.
I had a really busy summer working and traveling, and I'm really happy and hoping that I can catch up on seeing my friends and seeing some shows.
Anything you're excited to see?
A lot of great stuff. Issa Davis has a new show that she's doing at Here Arts, and she's amazing. I'm excited for that. I just saw the Brothers Size at the Shed.
Okay.
It was amazing.
I got invited. I didn't go. I should have gone. Is it still? Is it still running?
I think it's still running to the end of the month. It's really amazing. And then my friend Michael Arden's opening Queen of Versailles coming up.
I know.
I'm interested
Michael's
in that.
very busy.
He's the busiest, and I'm so lucky to be his friend. But I'm looking forward to that. And then for what I want to make or do as my own artist is I think I have a little bit of time to myself, and I'm gonna fill that with writing a little bit.
Okay.
With my friend Amy, we have some ideas, and I think I got to be bold enough to put those things on paper and then send them out into the world.
I think you should.
Yeah. And then if the gods allow it, and by gods, I mean Kevin Feige at Marvel, a third season of Daredevil Born Again.
Fantastic. Returning. I love that. Nikki, I have to thank you for joining the drama club. This was so much fun. It's so fun. Catching up. Actually, I want to add something to that list. Will you come for a run with me once I'm clear? I have had knee surgery, but I'll be clear to run in 2 weeks. Can we go for a cute little run in the park?
I would love it.
As soon as the leaves start to change?
You can't stop the beat.
We can do a shared Spotify playlist.
I can't wait.
Collaborate. You throw some in, I'll throw some in. It'll just end up being every production of Hairspray ever,
That's right.
including
Let's
the film. Thank you, John Travolta. Anyway, to all of our friends out there, you can find us on all of the streaming platforms. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Music. You want to follow our YouTube channel, Instagram, and TikTok at Drama Club with Matty. Follow me at Matty Maggiacomo. Follow Nikki at
Nikki M. James. All of them at all the places.
Until next time, nerds, I'm Matty Maggiacomo, and thank you for listening to Drama Club with Matty.
Bye, friends.